And they went around the list. And back up, asked his vice president. He said, "No, I can't go." Went to the area reps. "No, I can't go." Got to me and said, "I guess you're going." I look at my calendar, and there was 5 empty spaces for the days of lobby week. So I went, and I didn't have any information back then because NAC was still young and legislative. It was when we were really getting our feet wet in that arena, and we got them wet pretty quickly. So I didn't know where our meeting was. I knew what hotel to go to. I didn't know what time we started, and I got to the hotel. I camped up there, so I ended up getting in kind of late because I got bumped off a couple of flights. And I said to myself, I don't know what time we meet. And the hotel didn't know. But there's a bar in this hotel, and there's going to be an air traffic controller in there. And at all of, I think, 25 3/4 years old, I walked down in that bar and I said, "Hey, are there any air traffic controllers in here?" And indeed there were. And I said, "What time do we meet tomorrow?" And that is when I got sucked into the big NACA love, was that lobby week. Because I saw this collective power working towards a common goal. I got to interact with the people outside my facility for the first time, and I was in for good. So I became the South Florida legislative rep, and we formed a committee so that we had 7 congressmen and 7 facilities, and all of our members overlapped so that we'd work together. Our main goal was to not look stupid. That's always a good goal, by the way. And we got active locally. I became the Southern Region Legislative Chair from that position. And then shortly after taking over the Southern Region, I was appointed and elected as the National Legislative Chair. So legislative is in my veins, and it has been from the beginning. I think that it is our critical place. However, it is one leg of a 3-legged stool. Jamie said that we have 2, but we have 3. It is legislative, labor relations, and publicity. If we are not willing to make our arguments public and get that attention, we won't be effective in the other 2. We need to have all 3 legs of those stools working. And I'm happy to do all of them. I have testified before Congress. By the way, for anyone that hasn't, it is very nerve-wracking. Of all the speeches I've given, it was the one I was most nervous. But I was happy to do it. And I have 30 seconds left to say my legislative experience is on the record and clear for all. We had some huge battles, including fighting for the ATRA that I got my feet wet on, and I've been there ever since.
Okay, we're just going to do one more question and allow the candidates to have their closing remarks, and it looks like I owe the EVPs a question. And Trish, what is your analysis of NACA's finances, and what improvements would you bring to NACA's budgetary and financial processes?
Well, I spend a great deal of time at the national office doing legislative work, but I do, being in charge of 2 budgets, NACA Washington budget and the National Legislative Committee budget, 2 very large budgets. I am well aware of the processes that take place, our vouchering rules, Department of Labor regulations with regard to that. As Paul mentioned earlier in one of the questions, we have taken significant revenue hit with the imposed work rules and our B-scale employees making 30% less than our A-scale employees. Not to take away from the harm that's done to them and their livelihoods and their family, but it also has had an impact on our Treasury. Paul, I think, has done a fabulous job adjusting our priorities and our expenditures to be able to let us continue to hit the hill as often as we need to have larger conferences and communicating for safety and rolling lobby weeks in NAC in Washington and convention and all the things that we need to have to motivate our membership and get our membership involved. He has adjusted all that. I think the key area, and I'm sure he will speak to this, although I'm not sure it's his question, is looking at where we're spending our money. The key area has been in the firms that we hire to do work that our national office staff does today that they didn't used to do. That used to be very expensive. There were some big names with some large reputations. However, we do not have the funds to do that anymore, and actually I have seen a positive outcome of not being able to retain those firms any longer, because I have seen our national office staff grow and commit and have real passion for the work they do for this membership. It's like they were one of us, and they are one of us. And now that they have value in their job, and they carry our message forward like it's their message, and they're a part of the fix, They do a tremendous job. I can tell you, 3 to 4 years ago, that was not what I saw in that national office. I saw a competitive nature, people feeling like their jobs were stolen away from them because they thought they thought they were being contracted out. So they weren't the productive workforce that I enjoy working with today when I go to NACA and deal with the national office staff. So I would continue very close to what Paul has done. I think he's been very impressive in every decision he's made with regard to our finances, and I would continue along those lines.
My financial responsibilities and my fiscal responsibilities at Washington Center are written. I've saved money at Washington. I've cut expenses, and I've included the membership. We have more membership benefits from the dues rebates than we ever have. I put it against any facility. We have a large facility. I know we get a large rebate check, but I involve the membership. I cut the travel clubs. I comply with regulations. I comply with our local expense policy. We have I've given about $25,000 over the last year back to the membership, all inclusive, back to the membership. That's computers, that's training, that's anything the membership as a whole desires and needs to operate effectively and strengthen the union. We took over 35 people subsidized to the convention, saving money by cutting costs, by spending only on the necessities for a strong union and a strong workforce, and strong representation of buildings. 35 people to the convention subsidized. That's a large number. I believe giving back to the membership, I believe including the masses. We have a holiday party that everybody is invited to. It's an amazing party. It comes from the dues rebates. It strengthens us. It builds us. It guides us. It solidifies and galvanizes us. When I call on them for action, when I call on them to fight, when I ask them not to volunteer for Article 17 duties or ERAN details, they're with me. We're one, and we're unified at Washington Center. I use the monies effectively. I monitor the expenses, and I'm fiscally responsible. Thanks.
Concludes the question and answer period. We're going to go to the candidates' closing remarks. Each candidate will have 5 minutes to speak. We're going to begin with Paul, go to Ruth, then Rich, and then Trish to finish up. So, Mr. Rinaldi, the floor is yours for 5 minutes.
Well, thanks for hanging out for 2+ hours. This is real exciting, good questions. The spirited debate, I really do appreciate it. I truly believe our organization is at a crossroads again. We will get a contract, but that contract will not be the worth the paper it's written on if we don't fight it at every level. As I said earlier, labor, peace, and prosperity is not going to be delivered to us on a silver platter. The FA is not going to give us anything. We have got to fight for everything we're entitled to. Let's not accept crumbs. Let's accept what we're entitled to. You know, these egomaniacs, these HR, LR managers, frontline supervisors have enjoyed this out of control, unaccountable power, this anti-labor, white book driven power over the last 3 years. And we shouldn't stand for it. We shouldn't just get a contract and let bygones be bygones. I don't buy it. I'm not going to ever trust them again. And the ones that jumped ship since 2006 and decided, you know what, I'm going to go take that carrot over there. Yeah, I was a NACA rep. Yeah, I was this person. I was a legislative rep. But I'm going to go jump ship and be with management now. Don't ever forget it. Because once we get back, amen. That group has tried to break, fracture, and split this organization, and we won't have it. Today, we stand stronger, taller, and more united, with more resolve to win this war. And if you elect me as president, I will guide us back to prosperity. I will bring us labor, peace, and prosperity. And I will swing the bat. You have to swing the bat so they know you have it, so they're fearful for it. If they're not fearful of you, then you are not going to accomplish your goals. It's just a simple